Welcome back to another episode of RIA Q&A. What I love about this, in my opinion, is that I kind of made my bones or cut my teeth on answering a bunch of questions off the top of my head and knowing what I'm talking about, and then those answers being right. That ties into just having a lot of experience, that ties into having consulting experience and starting different businesses, that ties to research and studying how businesses are run and startups, as well as financial advising firms, and just really combining all of my knowledge together. It's one of my superpowers. And so with these types of videos, I'm not doing any studying. I have a list of questions that I find on the internet, in different groups that I'm in and different networks that I'm in, and clients of our own, and I just run through them. So the next question is, oh, perfect. I have like 20 of them, so I'm just driving through them. For those with wait lists for new clients, how do you structure them, and what specific steps do you take? How do you manage it? Now, if you've worked with me at all or heard anything that I've ever said that has to do with wait lists, you will know that I feel very strongly about them. I feel that you should never have wait lists. That's my personal preference. Now, it really depends on what type of business you want to build. If you want a small business and you don't want to hire anyone, wait lists are fine. I think it's kind of selfish because you can refer those people out to other people who could use the money, but hey, to each their own. Now, if you want to build a big company, simple, raise your fees. Like any question you can ask me about that comes down to raising your fees. Raising your fees, raising your fees, raising your fees. It is supply and demand. It is business economics 101. Like, if you have too much demand, you don't just sit them over to the side. You raise your prices so that there's an equilibrium, and you either hire people. You can hire us. We have in-house CFPs. You can outsource it. You can do a lot of other things. You can partner with another firm or buy them and then have them serve your clients. But if you want to build a firm that is bigger than you and assistant and a lead planner, so if you want to build a big enterprise firm, not even huge like Elderman Financial or United Capital, but even just 2 or 3 lead advisors with about 2 to 3 million, 1 to 3 million in revenue, just raise your fees. You can tell I'm frustrated because I see a lot of people saying, no, do a wait list. No, raise your fees. That's step 1. You want to go to the other side and say, hey, I want a small firm, refer them out. Now, if you don't feel like doing either of those, here's my recommendation of how to structure a wait list. I know, and you're probably asking, Steven, you just said don't do it. A lot of people don't listen to my advice. The people who pay me money, they do because they're paying me money, but you're in this for free, so I imagine you won't listen to my previous 5-minute rant. So let's answer your actual question. I believe that the way that you should structure a wait list is the same way you should structure a marketing funnel, with tweaks or tweaks/twists. I just made that up. I accidentally meant to say tweaks. But you should have people in a funnel. You should go ahead and automate it. So if you're using MailChimp, Infusionsoft, ActiveCampaign, whatever, have an automated thing, and you need to project out when your wait list will be done. So if you know that your wait list's in your mind, you can look at your churn rate, which is how often people will leave your firm. You can look at your capacity and see if no one leaves your firm, when will your capacity opens up. Generally speaking, it's when you're through onboarding your brand new clients, because onboarding can take a little bit of time, 20, 30 hours, depending on how deeply you dive into your firm. However, when you project that out, you may see that your wait list should be 3 months long, because that's when you will get openings through your onboarding process, and you will have the capability and capacity to do that. So that said, 3 months, let's call it at 3 months. You should have an automated weekly, in my opinion, weekly touch point for them. Hey, thanks for waiting. This is what we've been up to. here's a way that you can get your stuff ready for our big meeting in the 3rd month. Next week, hi, did you see our last blog post? We think it will really help you with X, Y, and Z before we get started in our relationship. Month 2. I mean, you get the point. Like month 2. Hey, have you looked into, I guess it's about to be open enrollment. Have you looked at your open enrollment? Check out our guide that we did for people who are in open enrollment. Hopefully this will help you. And this is how you engage with them. You can do webinars, Facebook Live. You can call them, text them, tweet at them. Just keep them top of mind so that they won't fall off or roll off. That's probably the best way that you're going to be able to manage a wait list. And it needs to be really thought out in advance, because otherwise you'll have people in your funnel, if you will, your wait list funnel, that will drop out too early because you didn't project correctly and you didn't track your numbers, which you should be tracking. They'll drop out early and then you'll forget that you didn't talk to them. So then you'll have people in your wait list that receive the last email, and they'll either come in and say, oh, I'm ready, and it's too early for you, or they'll decide that they're not ready and you will forget that they're on your wait list. So make sure you track that in your CRM. The other thing is, if your wait list goes out too far, again, raise your prices. If it goes out too far, people could get tired of you stringing them along, kind of like if you were dating the opposite sex, but you weren't serious, you were kind of casual, and you were just stringing them along so that you could hang out with other people. Same thing, don't do that. Raise your prices, refer them out. Like, that's all you need to do. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hope this helps. Let me know if you have any other questions. I'll include them in my next Q&A.